last week here on The Hot Joint.
Well, DB, I must admit, when I saw Ricky come crawling through the curtains in the state that he was in, he honestly never looked any better.
A fundraiser for Ricky?
A fundraiser?
A fundraiser for his medical expenses?
No, not for that piece of shit, you're not. Don't go to it.
Don't
go to it.
.hotjoint666.
Don't.
That was the best man, and you did nothing. You did nothing. You did
back.
nothing.
I hired you. All right, everything's cool. Look, if you'd like to donate to Ricky's medical expenses, DB Slivers would greatly appreciate it.
I was walking to the pet store one day. That's when I stopped at the dog pound along the road.
That I, Harrison Bush, will be running to become the next president of these United States of America. Thank you.
Tonight on The Hot Joint, comedian, actor, and author Bobby Shue. Ricky the Cat Meow. Daron, Beck, and John Teague, Pinkish Black. And find out who's a winner and who's a loser on the Wheel of Exclamation. And coming at you hot from coast to coast, the Hot Joint is on the air. Now with your host, Ronaldo Largo.
Thank you all for tuning in to the Hot Joint once again. Thank you all out there for joining us. And do we ever have a show for you here tonight? Bobby Shue is here tonight. That's right, I said Bobby Shue will be here. He's living small, telling jokes, writing books, and he's here to tell us all about that coming up shortly. Bobby Shue, that's right. And then from Fort Worth, Texas, Daron Beck and John Teague, Pinkish Black will be here. That's right, I said Pinkish Black. And then, at the top of the hour, find out who's a winner and who is a loser on everybody's favorite game, the Wheel of Exclamation. All that and much, much more tonight on the Hot Joint. And here we are with Head of Security, DB Slivers. DB, tell us how you're doing today.
I've seen better days. Then again, I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah? Yeah, it looks like it. And speaking of better days, I'll tell you who's had better days, and that'd be your dear friend, Harrison Bush. Saw the last episode, Harrison Bush had just unveiled his plan for peace, happiness, prosperity, male fertility. The crowd loved him. Lots of applause. It looked like he was going to get quite a few votes. I know you agreed with a lot of what he had to say when suddenly out of nowhere a shot rang out and he went down. If you didn't see it, take a look for yourself.
So dip your crispy tortilla chip in that guacamole, Washington, D.C. Thank you. Thank you.
Lots of confusion, lots of people demanding answers, and to be honest, I didn't know what the hell was going on when it happened. I was in the back, the wrestler had just spit the green mist in my eyes. My whole face was on fire. I was back there trying to clean myself up. I heard a loud shot ring out, followed by commotion, followed by screams and footsteps. You were closer to the situation, DB. Tell us what you saw.
The smell of sweet cherry pie filled the air that night, but I didn't think anything of it. I just thought it was another one of your props, one of your cruel games, Ronaldo.
No.
But there's something different about that pie.
Something different about
Something
it?
different. It's tainted.
Tainted?
Tainted!
What do you mean, tainted?
Initial reports indicate that Harrison Bush had 7 times the amount of sugar in his bloodstream than it would take to give an elephant type 2 diabetes.
7 times? How is that even possible?
I'm not a goddamn scientist, but whoever did this was a cold, calculated individual. Regardless, he will be detained.
And even with your sloth-like reflexes, you're blind as a bat eyesight, you were still able to get a good look at the suspect. Is that right, DB?
I did catch a glimpse of him.
What'd he look like?
A thin, dark figure.
Thin, dark figure.
Standing there in the curtain way.
Right here, yeah.
Right there. And as I took the whistle, put it up to my lips to alert all these good people out there that something had gone awry on the set of the hot joint. He then skedaddled into the dark.
Skedaddled into the dark and got away. And at this point, are we any closer to figuring out who this assassin is, or is he still at large?
He's still at large.
Still at large, ladies and gentlemen.
Probably waiting to strike again.
No doubt about it. That's unfortunate.
I tell you what, this country's going to hell, and not in a good way.
Ronaldo, you have a package.
Oh, thank you, Stacy. Thank you. This one's from Paris, France. Here, you go ahead and open that. It's probably just a fan letter or something. Or it could be a bomb. Easy there. A letter. Dear Ronaldo, here you will find the truth and the answers you seek. And always remember the truth is bittersweet, just like a jar of marmalade. Please be kind and rewind. Your admirer, Lee H.C. And let's see, what is that? A VCR tape, a VHS tape. And it looks completely rewind. I just so happen to have a VCR, DB, here.
Huh.
Let's see what this is all about.
Monsieur Ronaldo, I've been watching your work with the darts, and I must say, Ronaldo, your work is truly amazing. Vraiment incroyable. Magnificanta. I am a man who lives and dies by the darts. When I see the trouble brewing, I strike like serpent. This world has 7 billion people, but only a handful have the power, and they all abuse and manipulate to satisfy their own greed. Harrison Bush was not different. Sucra so deadly it absorbed into the skin, instant death. The taste of death is oh so sweet. Oui, oui. Sincerely, your admirer, Lee Harvey Cobbler.
Oh, dear. Well, it appears as though the assassin is still at large like we suspected, but somehow I'm on his good side, if you can believe that, huh?
It's just not fair.
Yeah, well, it's not fair, DB, but don't worry. My advice is just hold out till next year, and there'll be plenty of other presidential candidates to fill you up with false hope, false promises, and break your heart like they always do. But until then, let's say we go check out on your old pal Ricky Meow right now and see what he's up to. Let's go live via satellite to Cedar and Cyanide Hospital. Dr. Nichol and Dimus, are you there?
Ricky! Ricky!
Get it out!
Nichol Dimus, what can you tell us about Ricky's condition?
Why, hello, joint viewers. DB, Ronaldo, it's me again, Dr. Nichol Dimus, and as you can see, Ricky just came out of his coma. Ricky's doing swell. He just came out of his coma. He's a little confused, but that's to be expected.
Ricky!
Whoa, hold
Ricky!
Hold on, DB, I can't hear the doctor.
Just as he eats like a pack mule, oh, he takes shits like a pack mule as well, and whoa, it smells absolutely horrible. He should be having a little trouble eating, but it doesn't appear to be slowing him down at all, despite his jaw being wired shut like it is. But he really should be on a liquid diet. But you know what they say, you can't keep a good cat down now, can you?
That's remarkable news, Nichol Dimus. Tell us, how much longer is Ricky gonna be there at the hospital then?
Well, to be honest with you, Ricky's been having some bowel movements, as you can tell, that are just brutal cockadoodle. And Nurse Roberta here's just tired of cleaning it up. I'm tired of smelling it, and I'm sure I speak for everyone else on this whole entire floor when I say that. I just want him out of here as quickly as possible. So what say I drop him off at your place, Ronaldo?
Well, I really appreciate it, but it's totally not necessary. We don't need him back up here today.
Ricky! Come home to Daddy.
I'm sure everyone would love to see him. And I've got to get the oil change on the ambulance, so I can swing by in about an hour.
You know what, DB? That's a great idea. The troubles between me and Ricky, they're long gone, I assure you. I'd swear on a stack of Bibles, not that it would mean anything to you, but I'll be more than happy to have Ricky out here tonight back on the hot joint in his home where he belongs. What do you say, people? Would you like to see Ricky back on the hot joint? And Ricky's being helped into his wheelchair, and I must say, Doctor, you have quite the back for an elderly man. All right, top of the hour, return of Ricky the Cat Meow. We'll be right back after these messages with Bobby Shue. We'll be back with Bobby Shue, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back after this quick break.
In, out, in, out. You like your boogers rare, cause I got them as rare as you want those motherfuckers right now. Tell us how rare you want that booger. I got a shotgun in the back and we'll kill the cow tonight. And when that motherfucker asks you if you gonna eat it in your car, tell him to kiss your ass. In-N-Out Burger's the best goddamn hamburger your ass will ever put in your motherfucking face. So get your ass down here right now. In-N-Out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hot Joint. Our next guest is a very funny man. He's here to entertain all of y'all. Please welcome the comedy stylings of Bobby Shue. Hey, Bobby. Thank you.
Oh, we got a big audience. So I just wrote a new book. It's called Not Another Guru Book, which is exactly what it says. It's not really a motivational book. It's just really talking about lowering your standards, because my standards are pretty low. I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, I was, I'm downsizing my life right now, getting a tiny home, and just kind of living off grid for a while, because life is so competitive, I really don't have any ambition. I used to back in my 20s. I was very ambitious. So any advice that I can give you guys in your 20s, lower your ambition. You'll thank me for it. I don't know. Every time I go to the Indeed website and they talk about job descriptions, because I'm trying to find a job from home, but even those are very competitive, or they just don't pay a lot. Maybe because they know that you're not going to really work. But as I'm looking through these job descriptions, I'm noticing that where they get you, must be a multitasker, work under pressure, I'm like, and this is supposed to romance me to hit submit? I just want to lie down is what I want to do. That's like my dream. Want a half-ass job at a coffee shop and then just go home at the end of the day. That's my life ambition. I mean, look at our president. I mean, not the one now, but the better one. I mean, look at him. Very competitive. They asked me at work, what are your ambitions? How do you want to grow with the company? I'm like, I don't. What's wrong with just being where I'm at? Like, I just want to stay put. I have no desire to grow. That just means more responsibility. I mean, it took me 4 years to get acclimated, so why do I want to fill up my plate with more for less money? Oh, I don't know. Life's hard. It really is. I mean, even standing up here right now, I had to really think about what I was gonna say. But anyway, you guys have been a great audience. I wish I had more, but I don't. Anyway, I'm gonna go lie down now. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here I am back with comedian, author, Bobby Shue. You had everyone laughing with those jokes. Some real good stuff. Tell us, how long have you been a comedian for?
A little over 10 years now.
Wow. Thanks for being here. So you've got a new book, I'm told, coming out.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
It's called Not Another Guru Book. Basically, just like the routine, it's about minimizing your life.
So did you write an original guru book, or you've just been writing a whole bunch of them, or?
This will be the first.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I guess there's a lot on the market, hence the title, right?
Yeah, it's a fad right now, so get in while the getting's good.
So tell us about, you're a minimalist, are you?
Yeah, I'm a minimalist. Basically, what a minimalist is just downsizing your life, things that you don't need. And just, it's life is not about things, it's about living. And I feel like in today's society, especially in American culture, we tend to live beyond our means, and we forget what living is all about, and living is all about experiences. It's not about things and possessions. So that's the word I'm trying to get out there.
Yeah, definitely a lot less to keep track of. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Yeah. So what brought you on to being a minimalist? What was the awakening, I guess, if there even was one, that brought you on board as a minimalist? Also, minimalism is also about, like a lot of us today are so obsessed with social media today, and I think some of that was driven to my desire to become a minimalist. We thrive on approval from others, and I'm exhausted, so I don't seek approval from everyone else, and once you accept that, you're a happier person. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're not a homeless guy, but you'll see these people holding signs up on the side of the road, and you think this guy doesn't have nothing but the shoes on his feet and maybe a buggy full of garbage or something, but he's probably happier than most people out there going to work every day and 9 to 5 until they have a heart attack, the routine. But yeah, is that kind of, would you say a homeless person that holds a sign on the side of the street might be a minimalist, or?
I wouldn't go that far.
No, okay.
I still value, it's not saying that you have to get rid of all your possessions. Like I love movies, and I have my plasma screen TV that I'm not willing to forfeit, but I use it all the time. Minimalism is more about things that you have, but they're just there. You don't use them. And
so what was the first thing you got rid of when you became a minimalist?
I downsized in clothes, pictures that were hanging in the house. I mean, what good are, knickknacks and shit? So I got rid of all of that. I don't know, when I look at my house now, I just think it's just a refresher. I don't have to think so hard, and I think you think so hard about filling space when you have, like a 1,200, 1,500 square foot home. But these are just things you don't need them. I mean, unless something adds value to your life. I mean, you know, I love filming. I have my camera equipment too. I have my photography, and I still keep those because those are things that do add value to my life. So it's not saying that you have to completely wipe out everything. I'm not talking about, you know, maybe the homeless guy is happier than most, but I wouldn't take it to that extreme.
Yeah, that's fair enough, and you've made more sense to me than I originally thought you would. But yeah, that's a good way to look at it, because if you think about it, we're born into this world with nothing, and we kind of leave that way. So somewhere along the way, we end up with a bunch of shit and stuff we got to figure out what to do with, and it's not always fun trying to figure out what to do with that shit. So yeah, so you're making a documentary. Is it about minimalism as well?
It is. I've actually have 3 people lined up to interview, along with myself, following my life in my tiny home, and it just kind of shows the days in of me riding my bike, me running, kayaking, doing outdoorsy things. You know, my tiny home is pretty much a place where I can just lay my head down to rest and eat, sleep.
So you're living in a tiny home at this point?
I will be next month.
Yeah, I actually went and looked at it one time. 399 square feet or below, right?
Yeah, this one's 400, yeah.
Let me tell you a tiny home story. Where are you looking at them at?
In Rowlett.
Oh, Rowlett, yeah. I think I might have been to that place.
Yeah.
It's there's
Tiny
like...
home community, yeah.
Yeah, and, well, there's quite a few of them along the way. This was a few years ago. I was looking at one, and I went to Athens, where they manufacture...
Yeah.
You've heard of that one?
That's the same...
yeah, that's why I went to that one, because they had a few of the other models. And I was looking at them, and I got locked inside of one in the dead of July and almost baked myself to death. I had to get on the phone, because they've got these doors that just slide out, you know, the wall. Yeah. They're not hinged or anything. And so I shut it, and I got stuck in there. It wouldn't open. There's a small door, maybe like a dog could squirm out, so I had to open it and start yelling for help. And finally, some old lady that looked like she should have died 10 years ago showed up and saved the day. But I was sweating. I mean, I was pissed off at that point. I didn't even want to talk about tiny houses. But, yeah, I mean, not to say that that's everyone's experience, but...
Yeah,
so... Well, so you've been an actor as well for... How long have you been an actor?
Oh, God, over 20 years.
Wow, and you were on the... Was this on MTV?
Yeah, it was Austin Stories. It was the 5th episode. I auditioned. It was my second audition ever when I first got in the industry at the age of 13.
And what year are we talking?
This is back in 96, 97.
Oh, wow. So you were living down in Austin somewhere at the time?
No, I was in Dallas. My dad actually drove me back and forth to filming during that time.
So we got a clip, I'm told. So why don't you set the clip up?
It's called Austin Stories. It follows the life of 3 guys, or 1 girl and 2 guys living in Austin, and it's a comedy. It's just about a day in their life, and anyway, it's pretty funny.
All right, roll the clip, Delmonico.
Got everything.
Hey, Chip, tell us again about the time you saw The Cure in Houston.
Oh, well, Seth, you were an embryo back then, but I was going backstage.
Hey, what's with that shirt?
This? Oh, my cousin died in this shirt. Yeah, it was sad. And one minute he was fine, the next death took him away. Left me the shirt, though.
Why's that room closed?
That's you in the middle.
Oh, that's Angie's. We used to go out together, but now our apartment's all tinged with sorrow. But I kind of like it that way.
Did she die?
No, I died to her, though.
Your life is a beautiful tragedy.
Quite a few years ago, I wouldn't have recognized you. You obviously, you're not a goth anymore. But.
No.
Yeah. Well, it was a good time. Well, where can people find out about this book, this documentary you're making, anything to do with Bobby Shue on the internet? Where can they find that at?
They can look me up on Facebook or Instagram, but they can also look me up. The site goes live in June, which is called thehumansloth.com.
Okay, we'll get you to write it out. We'll put it right here, so people can... The Human Sloth.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yes, because a sloth moves slow, and so it's all about just slowing down, slowing the pace down in your life.
And when is this website out?
It's going to be available to access in June.
June. I might need to look at that. I could probably learn some things. Yeah, you really got the wheels turning in my head. But thanks for being here. Bobby Shue, comedian, actor. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back here on the Hot Joint. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. We're Pinkish Black from here. We are from here.
All right, and welcome back to the Hot Joint, ladies and gentlemen. DB Slivers, knock it off on the keyboard. That's enough. Our next guests are known for the very eerie and foreboding sounds. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Hot Joint, Daron, Beck, and John Teague. Pinkish Black. Thank you for joining us this evening. How are y'all doing?
Oh, very good.
How are you doing?
Oh, just fine, thanks.
I see you got the glasses on.
Yeah, it's bright.
Yeah, those fit you too. Yeah, you can have those if you want. Something you might wear while you
I'll
play.
definitely find a use for these.
They're yours, man. Well, thanks for joining us once again. And for anyone that doesn't know or they're not familiar with your music, how would you explain it to them?
It's loud keyboard music with crooning, and
crooning.
Yeah, crooning. I'm not much of a screamer anymore.
A croon. I haven't heard that said in a while. So, yeah, there's a balladeer, a crooner, and a few other classifications. Right. So you're a crooner.
I suppose so. Yeah, that would be my closest assessment.
Yeah, I love crooners. Yeah, whenever I first found out about you, I was amazed to find out it was only a two-man band. The first time I heard it, I thought this must be a stage full of people up there playing. You get that a lot, probably, huh?
Mm-hmm, quite a bit. Yeah, people expect to see guitar at least, but yeah.
Yeah. So you're a two-man band, and how long have y'all been together?
In this format, we're just over 9 years together, and we played together in a band called The Great Tyrant prior to this for about 6 years. So about 15 years now.
Wow. So I'm flying out to Vegas next month. I've got a guy that stiffed me for $500. That's why we got this security guard on the keyboards, who I might say is a huge fan of you guys. He wouldn't shut up about you all week long. We had the geezers packed in here. We had to send some of them back to the home. We're honored to have you here is what I'm saying. So, what's the name Pinkish Black? Can you explain the origins of that, or is that a secret?
It's not necessarily a secret.
Because, I'll let you.
It's not necessarily a secret, but it's just a bad. It's a bad road, I guess.
I mean, initially it was something that was a misquote from a Burroughs book. The quote was actually blackish pink, I think. And our former bass player, Tommy Atkins from The Great Tyrant, had told us that name about
Pinkish Black.
Yeah, he told us the phrase Pinkish Black about a week before he killed himself.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So
y'all kind of honored that.
In more ways than one. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll just leave it there.
Oh yeah. We don't have to get too deep into it. I'll tell you what it made me think of the first time I heard it was Bret the Hitman Hart.
That's different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good though.
I mean, first thing that pops into my head anytime I hear Pink and Black.
No, I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you a wrestling fan yourself?
I don't like Bret the Hitman Hart, but aside from that, yeah.
Who was one of your more favorite wrestlers?
Well, I grew up in Texas, so I grew up watching Channel 11, World Class Championship Wrestling. So it was all Texas-based stuff back then.
Sportatorium.
Yeah, once it switched over to WCW and once it switched over in the late 80s, I quit watching it altogether. But back in the day, watching Bruiser Brody, Bruiser Brody versus Abdullah the Butcher was probably one of the best things.
I bet that was a bloody one. I think I've seen clips of that. I used to do a lot of tape trading back in the days.
Oh yeah.
The early days of the internet, you could find anything, but they had to mail it to you in most cases.
Yeah.
So you'd find some weirdo in a chat room and he'd tell you what he had. You'd send money and hope that he didn't fuck you over.
Exactly.
But I have a case of those old tapes somewhere. But yeah, Abdullah the Butcher, Bruiser Brody. It's unfortunate, rest in peace, what happened to him down in Puerto Rico. But yeah, so you're a local world-class fan. And,
yeah, Von Erichs and Freebirds was like huge when I was growing up. I mean, they were just legends, you know.
Yeah.
It didn't even matter if you watched wrestling. If you lived in this area, you knew about the rivalry, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was hard not to know. I mean, they sold out Texas Stadium.
Oh yeah.
Back in the '80s, packed house. Imagine that. Ric Flair
did commercials for Pizza Hut, I think, or Pizza Inn back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ultimate Warrior had the car commercial.
Oh yeah, with Mean Joe Greed or whatever.
Is that it? Yeah, with the giant sunglasses.
Yeah, sunglasses. Yeah.
Joe Greed.
Wonder what happened to him. I think he made a comeback a few years ago.
I think so. I went to school with his daughter. But and I remember seeing him at like.
Did she wear sunglasses or something?
No, unfortunately not. That wasn't hereditary. But no, yeah, I remember seeing him at like a field day one day, and it was like, I know that guy.
Well, it'd be hard to. Was he dressed up like the?
Wearing the white suit.
He wasn't.
Did he at least have a hat on, or?
No, not that I remember.
Yeah, he always reminded me of kind of a Jimmy Hart.
Oh, totally, absolutely, absolutely.
He would have made a great manager if he was.
He probably would have.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was always my ambition, was to be a professional wrestling manager.
That would be, yeah, I would love, maybe one day we can both work our way into that, because that would be a dream.
Yeah, I'd drop everything I was doing, and yeah.
Yeah, Gary Hart was probably one of my favorite wrestling managers, because he was just intimidating as could be.
Yeah, very, very mean. The eyebrows and the deep voice. Yeah. Who did he manage?
He managed all sorts. He managed
the Great Kabuki
and Missing Link, and Great Kabuki was his big find, and then
Muda.
Yeah,
later on.
Yeah, later on.
He invented the green mist.
Yep.
In fact, we have the latest incarnation of the green mist was here on the last episode. Zetsu was here. It means seizure in Japan. So it means seizure in Japanese. So yeah, we had him out here. I was nice enough to invite him to play the Wheel of Exclamation. And I don't know what got into him, but the next thing I know, I got burning skunk juice all in my eyes. I'm on the ground, kicking and screaming, and who knows what happened to him. He disappeared into a puff of smoke, and I hope he never comes back here. But yeah, Gary Hart was a good manager. General Skandar Akbar, were you ever a fan of him?
Devastation Incorporated,
yeah,
absolutely.
Devastation Incorporated, Rugged Rod Price. Who else was? Sweet Daddy Falcone was one of them.
Jim Cornette.
Oh, Jim Cornette and the Racket. Mm-hmm. Yeah, shit, I could go on all day long about them.
That's right.
Yeah.
And where have you been? You've been all over the world.
Not all over, but we've been across America several times now, and we went to Europe.
Oh yeah.
For about a month, and went all over Europe. And I can't even
across Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, how was that?
Cold.
Yeah. So it was a winter time.
It was fun,
It was 2 degrees.
Holy shit! And how long were y'all there for?
Oh, just driving. I mean, we were there for like a week or something. Yeah, but it was we were doing a month-long tour, and yeah.
Wow, so y'all stay on the road often, or?
We'd like to do it more. It's just there's not a lot of bands we fit real well with for us to tour with. So, and we're not of the level of doing a lot of touring where we're the headlining band yet. So
you're working your way up.
Getting there.
Just getting there. Yeah, when I first heard y'all, it reminded me kind of Joe Meek almost. Something he might, like Telstar.
Telstar,
Telstar specifically, not anything else.
No, I've learned a lot from Joe Meek's production techniques and stuff. Not that I would mimic any of that. I mean, he used telephone books to recreate snare drum sounds, and he gets a pretty good snare drum sound himself. So, I love Joe Meek.
Yeah, quite a character.
Very much so. Yeah.
I'm glad that people can recognize now how amazing some of that stuff is.
Yeah, it's fine. It's still kind of. Yeah, and he turned down the Beatles too.
Oh yeah.
He told them to go to hell. but yeah, it's a shame not more people don't know about Joe Meek, and it's also a shame what he did to his landlord. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's a horrible ending.
Shame all around.
Yeah, so let's see. How about the Residents? I used to be a fan of the Residents. I'm into obscure music myself. That's why I'm bringing this up. So the Residents.
I love the Residents. It was funny when we toured with Ghost. They're a band that also tries to remain, clandestine and anonymous. And he had, the guy in Ghost had, the main guy in Ghost had never heard of the Residents. And I was like,
so he was, it was a mirror image almost. What does he dress up as a ghost or is that his disguise?
No, he's dressed up as several different things. He goes by Papa Emeritus, but
I think it's I don't know what it is this year, but
he's been several different things.
So, yeah.
How does he behind the scenes? Y'all know who he is?
Yeah.
Okay.
We toured with.
I say that the Residents got the big eyeballs, and I heard they're from Louisiana, but I don't know if that's true.
I mean, one of the guys, Hardy Fox, I guess, recently died, and he was one of the main guys from the Residents. So.
Yeah, that's a shame. I don't know when the last time they put a record out was, but
not that long ago, really. I think it was only a couple years ago because they came through Dallas. I didn't get to see them. We were on the road, unfortunately. But, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I need to keep an eye on that.
Fun.
Yeah. So another song that I wanted to mention to you that is kind of falls in the same category. It's a song by Pink Floyd, and it's called "One of These Days." Mm-hmm. You familiar with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. I always liked to. I had a Camaro one time, and I just liked to haul ass all over the place, and I'd put "One of These Days" on repeat, and it would loop, and I'd just haul ass. I mean, I'm lucky. I made it out alive some of those nights, but that's what I would do, is just haul ass in the Camaro with "One of These Days" on. And I'm sure if I'd known about y'all back then, if it'd been further back, I would have done it I would have served the same honor with y'all's music.
Yeah, that's nice. Pink Floyd's been a huge influence on both of us for years, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bands that came out of that too that were pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, the whole expansion of it. Yeah, so you've got your own sound, and that's what I really appreciate. Now I'll tell you what, there's no guitar in your band. And I don't have a problem with that at all, because I cannot play the guitar for the life of me. Every time I try to.
We can't either.
Really?
Well, I've been playing guitar since I was 10, but I can't play very well.
You're probably much better than me.
I can't play keyboard very well either, but I could mask it better.
So how are you making this? Is it a bunch of knobs and dials? Or?
No, he's got more knobs and dials than me. I'm more like just traditional player. I kind of look at our balance as far as what we do with keyboards as like, kind of like in a Roxy Music fashion, to where he's like the Eno and I'm like the Brian Ferry, to where it's like I'm just holding down the melodies and harmonies, and he's doing all the special effects and making it come to life.
Oh wow! So is there a lot of post-production that goes into it?
No, it's all pretty much live.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's.
Couple vocal overdubs here and there when we record, but for the most part it's pretty much just live.
Okay, yeah. So how long does a typical song take y'all to make? Or some are short and
depends.
That's kind of I should be more specific. I guess once you have it and you start going,
recording for us is a pretty quick process. Like I think it took us about all total maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks for this last record, if that. And but writing process can sometimes go very quickly, and then other times take a long time.
Yeah, sometimes a song will happen.
Sometimes it takes a while to figure out what we're doing.
Later.
Yeah.
And at what point during this whole process do you feel like you've got enough songs, or you've got it how you like it, and you say this is going to be the album? This is it.
Interesting tidbit.
Yeah.
We had that this last time we finished recording, and
just try to come up with enough music that will fit on a 12-inch
on a record. And
so y'all are mostly a record to record.
And we think of music when we're writing an album.
Good length for an album usually.
And we also like to think of side A and side B, and think of it as like, this is kind of for chapter 1 and chapter 2 or whatever. But no, this last time we had turned in, 45 minutes of music, and we were like, okay, this will fit on the record. And then we were informed that it needed to be, it was only 6 songs, and we were informed after finishing recording that it needed to be 8 songs. So we had to
come up with
2 more songs and on the fly, and then
we'd already spent our recording budget.
Yeah, so then we had to figure out how to record them. So then we just had to record them at my house, and
wow.
And they turned out good. We were
still
very
able to take them and mix them.
Yeah, we're very happy with them. So.
And what album is this?
This is the one that hasn't come out yet. It's called Concept Unification. It should be out sometime this year.
It's coming out later this year, hopefully.
Yeah.
And say the name again.
Concept Unification.
Concept Unification. And what are these songs about?
Basically about how much of our lives we've been told that something, is new and improved when it's not necessarily new and improved at all. It's
just
terrible.
pisses you off.
It's worse and not getting better. And a lot of times they'll just take things and slap a coat of paint on them or put a new dress on it, and it's like supposed to be better, and it's like
public relations.
Yeah, a lot of things like that.
Yeah, that pisses me off too when stuff like that happens. You said public relations. Like, man, I'll tell you what pisses me off real bad is getting screwed over by these big companies. Sometimes I got to call AT&T, and it takes me 30 minutes to get through to somebody. And I shouldn't go into it, but all the cable companies have pissed me off over the last month. I've switched back and forth from Time Warner. It's a endless fucking rant. Anyways, the first time I saw you, I didn't even know it was you. I mean, it's crazy that you're even here, because I'm going to tell you the whole circle of this.
Okay.
It's about 2009, 2008, 2010. Along in there, I was laying low. I was not getting out much, watching a lot of TV at night, and American Idol was on. And I see this guy singing with a mustache, and that happens to be you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what year was that?
That was actually, let's see, I was 28 at the time, so that would have been, let's see, I turned 30 in 2006, so it would have been 2004, yeah.
Whoa, that's way back there. I thought that was even later than that.
No, it was like season 4 of American Idol or something. I think they're on like season 20 or something.
You're as far as American Idol goes, you're the only thing I remember from that whole damn show. Other than I think Kelly Clarkson.
Right. Yeah.
She was on that too. Mm-hmm. She was like the first one.
Yeah.
She worked at a movie theater that I used to work at.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know her. It was another one. I had to they paid me minimum wage, and one day I had to go over there with a pile of popcorn and deliver it to this other location. They're like, "Hey, you might see her there. That's the one she worked at." I'm like, I doubt she's working for minimum wage. Yeah.
Probably not.
But yeah, you're the first person, the only person besides her that I really remember from that show. So I watched the clip the other day. You really pissed off Gene Simmons. It looked like he had a sour look on his face.
They edited some of that out where he got even more pissed, where I told him that Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park was like one of my favorite movies, and he just stonewalled me. And
I've heard he's done that to other people.
Yeah.
Unless you got $25,000, then you're
exactly.
his best friend.
But
come hang out here anytime. Yeah, right.
But no,
wouldn't let Gene Simmons down here on the hot joint if he paid me.
He wouldn't.
Yeah.
But no, that was an interesting experience. He was at least he was at least able to have more fun with me, I guess, than the other judges. But yeah. It was I was detoxing from methamphetamine that whole time. So.
Oh God! Well,
and drunk.
Looked like you were having a hell of a time.
I was. Yeah, I felt pretty good.
And what did Simon Cowell have to say about all that?
Oh, I had told the producers they go through these interview processes.
So they kind of knew what to expect.
Yeah,
or did you sneak it in?
They knew what to expect. But then I had told them something about I used to do a drag act where I had a character named Miss Fist. And
Miss Fist.
And they took that and he used that You should be. I can see you wearing like red lipstick and panties and singing in a cabaret, and I was just like, thank you. You know, I've done that for years. So okay.
And he was trying to insult you.
Yeah, and it's just like, all right, thanks.
Yeah, I can't. That's another son of a bitch I can't stand is Simon Cowell. He just takes people and dashes their hope. I mean, at this point, you've got to expect. He's not even on the thing no more.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't keep up with those kind of people. But
no, it was. I wanted to see what they would just what they would say. That was basically it, and also I just wanted to get out of town and get away from all my meth friends and stuff and kind of clear my head.
I can understand that. So where you're from around? Where you from, if you don't?
Fort Worth.
Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And you've always lived Fort Worth.
No, I've lived in like I've lived all over North Texas, Denton and Arlington and Dallas, and moved to LA for a little while and moved back.
How long were you there for?
Like 6 or 8 months. I moved there in early 2001 and moved back after 9/11.
Were you afraid an attack was headed your way?
I just didn't want to die in Los Angeles.
Just like a movie.
Yeah, basically it was just like
I can see why.
I had better.
There's a lot of visuals.
Yeah, I just wanted. I wanted to be around family and friends, essentially. You know.
Yeah. Well.
And the music out there was just awful. There was no good bands. There was one good band called Midget Handjob. That was the singer from Circle Jerk, so I didn't think we were gonna get to play with them anytime soon. So. And at that point, like, I was in a band called Pointy Shoe Factory, and he was in a band called Yeti. And our bands would play together a lot, and I really missed playing with Yeti. So yeah.
Yetis? Are you're into Bigfoot or what?
A little bit, yeah.
Really? Is that did you not come up with the name or?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
And that was based on the Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a huge Bigfoot fan my entire life. I say fan, but it was an interest that sparked this whole thing. And
just know the whole concept's always been interesting.
And it's plausible too, to a point. Nowadays, to be honest, I just don't believe in Bigfoot anymore.
Well, I think that we would have found something.
Exactly, and that's my same logic. Up until about 03 or 05, remember there was a couple of guys that faked they found them. They had them in a cooler. Right. I think it was Atlanta.
Right, I vaguely remember something like that.
Yeah, I thought finally.
Well, I've always thought, if there's a Yeti or Bigfoot or Satori or whatever it is, you're never gonna catch it.
Yeah, but even if you can't catch it,
it's gonna do what it's gonna do.
Yeah, you'd think that they'd get a picture of it or something.
No. Only if it wanted to be photographed.
So it's wise, is what you're saying. I believe me, I've heard that they're wise.
What if they're like actually just interdimensional beings, like the machine elves or something?
I've heard that too, but I don't really believe that one.
I don't know.
I mean, if it happened, I'd be like, holy shit. I'd question everything at that point. If that happened, Bigfoot beamed in right here on the hot joint, anything's possible at that point. So, but I just think we would have found him by now. So,
I think so.
Yeah, I even went looking for him myself a few times and set some traps out by the lake. I'm not even joking. I swear to you, I'm not joking about this.
Lake Worth Monster.
Yeah, you've heard of him.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See. Oh, okay. I thought I was just being rude.
No.
Yeah.
I went to. Yeah, I know.
I mean, I wasn't looking for him at Lake Worth. I heard some people told me he was out at Joe Pool Lake. So I set a trap with a rake. You make a nice, smooth, flat plot of dirt. Throw a few tacos or whatever. He'll probably eat anything, and that's what I did. Jack in the Box, 3 for $1 back then. And went back there the next day. I found a couple of prints, but they were probably that of a dog or a coyote.
Jack in the Box tacos,
yeah. And then the people that told me they saw the Bigfoot there, they finally revealed this was all just a big joke. And I was like, and one of them even helped me do the dirt. And he was like a gothic guy, all black. This was like the heyday of Marilyn Manson. He was at his peak. He came out there, and the guy was just sweat pouring off his face. It was the dead of summer, and he went along with it. And it's like, shit, he could have saved us both the trouble and told me he'd made that up.
Right.
But anyways, enough about Bigfoot. So what other things are y'all into besides the band? What other kind of interests do you have?
I don't know, man. I have a lot of toys at my house.
Toys? What sort of toy? Action figures?
Oh yeah, a lot of action figures, a lot of play sets and crap like that. I'm real into like I don't know, just random crap.
G.I. Joe. Is there a particular?
No particular thing. Just kind of oddball things like my girlfriend made me a Crystal's Pizza out of Legos.
Oh yeah.
And
That's awesome.
I've got a lot of stuff from Crystal's Pizza. I don't know if you ever went there.
It's Irving, 183.
Yeah, like,
shut down a few years ago.
When they were shutting down, they had an auction, and like I went and bought a bunch of stuff. So I've got like a huge bust of Crystal over my fireplace, holding like 2 sconces, like light sconces. And,
wow.
Yeah. No, so.
What'd you have to shell out for those, if you don't mind me asking?
Not much, actually. Nobody there wasn't. No, there wasn't a lot of people interested.
It's my kind of auction.
Yeah, but I would never get rid of it. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's some local history.
Exactly. Yeah. If I could find the coffee table fish tank that they used to have in the library, that would be my next.
Last time I was there, that coffee table, or not one of the fish tanks. There was.
Oh yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about? The creature from the Black Lagoon might have lived in there.
Yeah, it got really, really rough towards the end, but
those are some sad days. But I went on a few dates there when I was younger.
I had my 14th birthday party there, and like my 8th birthday party there. And,
I was always a Chuck E. Cheese man myself. Showbiz Pizza, Rock of Fire Explosion. I think.
That's I'm a huge Showbiz Pizza fan, not Chuck E. Cheese so much.
Yeah, they merged. You know what, they came in with a helicopter. Chuck E. Cheese was in
the 100th restaurant. Yeah,
exactly. And I remember I had my birthday party at that one where he landed in the helicopter.
Right. Is that in Dallas?
Yeah, Redbird Mall.
Okay, gotcha.
Parking lot. It might still be there. I don't know.
Probably, but it's all bastardized now.
Yeah, it sucks now. You can't even get any joke. You got to watch the old VHS tapes.
If you go on YouTube and type in our new record name, you'll see some interesting videos.
Yeah, I was watching a few of your tapes, and it looks like there's a element of VHS to it. Some of them.
The one video we did for Bodies in Tow, that was all taken.
Is that the ballerina dancing?
Yeah, that was all from a public access show called Stairway to Stardom that was in New Jersey from like the 70s to the 90s, and.
Oh wow!
Stairway to Stardom, it's pretty incredible stuff.
Stairway to Stardom,
yeah.
And that was in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. There's some really incredible stuff on that show, definitely.
Yeah.
Stairway to Stardom, look it up. I'm saying that for my own good.
Start with Dante. Stairway to Stardom, Dante.
Dante.
Yeah.
Was he a balladeer?
He is. He's definitely a balladeer.
A fluffy shirt?
No, he looks like. I don't know if you ever saw Bloodsucking Freaks, but he looks like.
Yeah, actually, I have watched.
He looks like Sardu from Bloodsucking Freaks, basically. So.
Huh. And Dante's his name.
Dante, yeah.
Stairway to Stardom.
Yep.
Dante. I'm going to check that out. DB Slivers.
I just want to voice my appreciation for your music, sirs. It sounds very evil, and I'm very into that.
He's an evil man. Satan took over his heart, took residency in his heart a few months back. Is that right?
Gave up on Jesus Christ.
Well, you know.
A while
Never
back.
gave up on you, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ gave up on me when I fell off that goddamn ladder!
He ain't crawling back. I can tell by the look in his eyes. Satan's moved in and deadbolted that door shut.
I'm sorry, Pinkish Black.
Oh, boy. Well, thanks for joining us here on The Hot Joint. It was a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having us.
And everyone be on the lookout for the new album later this year. And if people want to find out more about you, where can they find you at?
Typically just, Facebook, Instagram, or go to Relapse Records website. That's where, they can buy stuff.
Relapse Records.
And we also have a Bandcamp that they can buy stuff from. So.
Okay, so check them out. There's some great music. Play it at your parties. More people will show up. They'll love you more. You'll have more friends. And I can't say thanks enough. Ladies and gentlemen, Pinkish Black.
We'll be right back after this quick break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hot Joint. Here I am with DB Slivers, head of security, and in just a few moments, his protege, Ricky the Cat Meow, will be making his return here on the Hot Joint, just a few weeks removed since being brutally attacked in the parking lot by a masked man.
Look, I know you and Ricky have had your differences in the past, but whoever did this must be brought to justice. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
Believe me, DB, I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I'd like to extend my hand and tell you this. There are no problems existing anymore between me and Ricky Meow. What he did to my car at the Red Lobster all those years ago, that's all in the past. That's behind us. Me and him are even as far as I'm concerned, and I just want to extend my heartfelt apologies for what I said last week. Now, last week you put together a fundraiser to help Ricky out with all the medical expenses that he's incurred during his stay at Cedar and Cyanide Hospital. And tell us, DB, how is the fundraiser doing? How did that go?
Well, thanks to all these gracious people out there, we managed to raise a pretty nice sum for old Ricky. $640.78.
$640? How much was it?
$640.78. And we're printing up a large check for him right now.
$640.78, a giant check. Well, thanks to everyone that donated on Ricky's behalf. Thank you all for donating. Everyone out there that's watching, we really appreciate the donations. And you're a true friend, DB. And once again, the problems between me and Ricky, they're in the past. There are no problems.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Hold on. What's that? Delmonico. Delmonico, he's here. I'm told that he's been unloaded. His handlers pushing him into the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hot Joint, Ricky the Cat Meow. There he is. In intensive care, broken orbital bones. You had quite a contusion the last time I saw you, Ricky. Good to have you back. Tell us how you're feeling. Yeah, it's been tough.
He's been heavily medicated.
And who are
he can understand you completely.
And what's your name, ma'am?
They call me Roberta.
Roberta, and you're in charge of looking after this now invalid state, Ricky Meow.
That's right, Ronaldo.
Oh, you're nothing short of a Mother Teresa. And Ricky, what can you tell us about the last time you were at the Hot Joint? What happened? It wasn't good, was it? He got you good, didn't he? Believe me, Ricky, I know we've had troubles in our past. Everyone thinks I had something to do with it. I'm sure I've been getting a lot of hate mail. And I just want everyone to know I had nothing to do with this attack on Ricky Meow. And I mean that honestly from the bottom of my heart. And it breaks my heart to see you in this situation. What else can you tell us about his situation? How long is it before he's up and running again?
Well, that we cannot tell. It could be permanent, possibly, but we're hoping to get them back together here in a couple months. But
a couple months, perhaps. Wow. And Ricky, is there anything you want to say to the person who did this to you? Was it a? Yeah. Was it a? It was a large fella that did this to you. And would you say he was somebody you might have recognized? Was he somebody you may have pissed off in your past? Perhaps. Well, I just want you to know, Ricky, the people here at the Hot Joint, we're happy to have you back. All the viewers at home have sent us a lot of letters. So the medical bills must be stacking up at this point, Ricky, but have no fear. Your good friend DB Slivers was kind enough to create a GeoCities webpage, a fundraiser, and all the viewers out there across America sent in some money, and we've got a check for you to help cover the expenses. And here it is. It was $640. Thanks to everybody who donated $640. $50. That's for you, Ricky. We've got quite a few letters. DB was kind enough to pick out some of the good ones. Let's hear them, DB. A lot of people are concerned about you, Ricky. And I think I speak for everyone when I say we're happy to see you back. Who's this first one from?
This is from a one Helen Keller III.
Helen Keller III.
That is correct, Mr. Largo. That's what it says on the envelope. I hope you get better and come back to the show soon. And if I only have one wish granted to me in this lifetime, it would be to see whoever did this to you in handcuffs and brought to justice. I don't believe you deserved any of this, despite what Ronaldo says. I don't believe you did what he says you did to his car anyways. He's obviously delusional and all coked up.
Coked up? Let me see that. Helen Keller III. Coked up Helen Keller. What a claustrophobic nightmare that must be. Let's hear the next one. Hopefully it's better than the first.
This is from a one Cassandra Thomas.
Cassandra Thomas, thank you for watching us. Where is she from, by the way? What's it say? Pueblo, Colorado. A lot of good people out in Pueblo. Nice place. I've been there a couple of times. Let's hear the letter.
Dear Ricky, I think you're the hottest guy I've ever seen on television. I'm a redhead too, and every night I think about how wonderful it would be for us to make love, and I imagine our red bushes sticking together like Velcro. I wanted to come visit you in the hospital, but Ronaldo wouldn't give me the address. I don't know what's wrong with that old grouch. But anyways, the next time I see you, I'm going to cover you in lipstick from head to toe. Get well and call me soon. I've been saving it up and I'm ready to go. P.S. I love lobster tails and can swallow one whole. Love, Cassandra Thomas, Pueblo, Colorado. And it appears that she has included something with the letter.
What is that? Thong panties. You idiots. Get them a good whiff of that. Might be a long time before you can do anything, Ricky. But how would you like to play the wheel of exclamation? How would you like to play the wheel of exclamation, Roberta?
I'm not sure he wants to, but I think we're going to take a try.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come back. Ricky Meow and his nurse Roberta on the wheel of exclamation. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these.
Coming up next, the wheel of exclamation.
Welcome back to the Hot Joint, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. It's time to play the wheel of exclamation. And our contestants today, Ricky Meow, fresh out of the hospital, and his lovely nurse, Roberta. Roberta, you're up first on the wheel of exclamation. Come on around and give it a spin. Here, give us some room. Back up. All right, give it a good spin. And win! And what has she won, Stacy? Oh, you've won the convenience store special, a rope of lottery tickets, a pack of Camel Turkish Golds, and 40 ounces of suds to wash away the sorrows that come with changing the diaper of an adult male such as Ricky Meow. Hell yeah, look at her go. Oh yeah. All right.
It's good stuff.
Thank you. And Ricky, you're up next. Let's give the wheel. Here, let me help you. Well, it says he won, but hold on. I think there's a problem. The wheel didn't go a full revolution. Let me consult the rules here. I understand, Ricky, but Well, I've never had that happen. If it doesn't make a full revolution, looks like you're disqualified. I know, Ricky, but rules are rules. And the fact of the matter is, you keyed my motherfucking car, and I'm never gonna forget about it. Stand back, you loser. You're getting one, too. Give me that fucking...
Check. $640 goddamn. Fuck you, Rick. Fuck
That concludes another evening here at the Hot Joint. Ladies and gentlemen, good night.